What? Now, honestly, how many of you came in afraid? It's okay if you're afraid. I'm a user-friendly guy. I don't mind if you're afraid. It's the unknown, right? This is a really weird guy. So anyway, he's going to run this by you. I have questions to ask. What if we do have physical sensations after life? How about when we feel like we're losing our minds or we die of a broken heart? Do your memories go with you? People who have near-death experiences report that they do. They know people, they remember people. I don't know people. What proof do we have? What about the possibility of eternal judgment? That's not karma, by the way. We get that wrong. Cheech and Chong, what goes around, that's not karma. We'll get to that. He makes an assumption here. He's allowed to. He's a philosopher. But at least in philosophy, let's realize we need to examine every presupposition. Every point that's given to us, it's okay to examine it. Now, I disagree with this, but I agree with this idea that without pain, maybe the measure of life isn't the totality of what happiness is supposed to be. Aristotle next week will say the same thing. You can never say whether you lived a good life till you get to the end of your life. Everything's fine, and then you find out you have bone cancer. Anybody been around anyone with bone cancer? Morphine doesn't really help a lot. You're in constant pain. My mother at the end of her life had ovarian cancer. They doped her up so much, she was in such pain she could open one eye at a time. That's all she could manage. I go in to visit her, call her name, and she'd open one eye, usually this eye. She lived a good life. She was born on a farm in Canada, married a flight engineer, and literally went around the world. She was telling me, she says, who would have thought a little farm girl would have gone around the world and seen everything in the world? The last thing my father was asked to do before he retired, worked for Pan American. It was a World Airways, jewel of the airwaves. His name was Dave. His boss said, hey Dave, how would you and Loretta like to go around the world and stop at all the 5-star hotels that our staff has put in? We want to make sure that it's really up to par. We'll pay for it. The bags were packed before he got home. Little farm girl. In the end of her life, she died a gruesome, painful death. Every organ in her body was overrun with cancer. Every organ. After the first surgery, I don't want to be too graphic, but I'm going to be graphic so you understand what I mean. They put a colostomy bag on her. They attach a bag for your feces and your urine. The cancer ate the bag out from the inside, ate a hole around it, and it literally fell out. My dad called me and he said, he was 85 at the time. He said, I don't know how to deal with this. I'm too old. Can you come down and help me? That's when I decided I'd come down and live with him and take care of him after she died. At the end of life, really? And yet she thought she lived a good life. She was happy with the life she lived. So I think Epicurus is right about that. It doesn't mean he was right about everything he presents to us. It's called a balanced life, and next week you're going to find out that that's at the heart of Aristotle's teaching. The good life is found as a balance between the extremes of too much and too little when it comes to feelings and actions. I could sit down quite honestly and finish half a gallon. The joke when I came down here, my dad used to tell everybody, Larry was good for half a gallon of ice cream in 2 days. He was right. No problem at all. I still have to stop. I have a tailored suit I'm wearing at the wedding. I can make sure I fit in my tailored suit. You know, it's not an old man baggy suit. It's now a tailored suit. So I want to make sure I do my run in the morning. Got this bar over the door. You do pull. I do leg lifts, you know. Questions about Epicurus? Yeah, there's more detail, and I'll pick up some of it and go over it Thursday. But any more questions about it? Okay, now.
being the last day and all.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. But wear one tomorrow, though, okay? Because tomorrow is going to be your first day. If you'd like to work here as a broker. Would you like that, Chris?
Yes, sir.
Good. We couldn't be happier. So, welcome. Was it as easy as it looked?
No, sir. No, sir, it wasn't.
Good luck, Chris. Oh, Chris. I almost forgot.
Thank you. This part of my life, this little part, is called happiness.
And have you ever seen that movie? The backstory of it is he's in a marriage. He's not able to really provide for the family. His wife leaves him. He gets a son. Chris got nothing. He's bright, but he's got nothing. Ends up living in safe houses, not safe houses, but homeless shelters. Thank you. At one point, he's in a New York City subway station. Literally, his back to the door in the middle of the morning so that someone can't get in. That's where he's sleeping that night with his boys. I cannot watch it again. And it so happens when he's at the lowest in his life, he passes this building he comes out of, and a guy gets out of a red Ferrari. And Chris says, wow, where'd you get that car? And he says, oh, I'm a broker. I make good money. He says, yeah, I make great money. In fact, this summer we have an internship program. You want to try out for it? And he said, sure. How much does it pay? Well, it doesn't pay anything. There'll be 30 candidates, and at the end of the summer, the best one will get the job. You want it? Well, you know, when you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. And so he decided. And frankly, they treat him like a dog. He's the only African American. Chris, go get coffee. Chris, go get donuts. In fact, the end of the movie, when his boss gives him back the $5 bill, he's coming in the building earlier, and the boss says, Chris, I forgot my wallet. I need $5. And Chris looks in his wallet, and that's all he has left. Period. His boss gives it back to him at the end. Goes on to be successful, starts his own business, multimillionaire. And this small part of my life, I call happiness. After all of that, I call that happiness. No pain. That's what Epicurus is talking about. Life comes with adversity. Don't reject adversity. In fact, if you learn to embrace adversity, when you come out the other side, you'll be stronger than if you found a way around it and avoided it. Because it teaches us lessons about life. And we're always better for it. Questions from you people? Okay. I need you to know how much I appreciate you, that you talk to me, that you share with me. It makes a world of difference in this class. It will continue throughout the semester because I have the finger. Okay. If you came in late, let me know you're here. When you leave campus, red light, green light. Be careful when you go home.